would I do? What would I do if I couldn't create? What would I do if I couldn't make art anymore? If I couldn't paint anymore? If I couldn't create anything at all? Well, the truth is, I already know what I would be like. I've been there, I've lived that life, and it's no longer for me. This body of work is inspired by flowers, by nature, by returning back to the source of joy in our lives. Simple flowers, even among the dead ones, can bring so much joy to your life. And that's what creation is for me. It is joy. It is magic. It is experience. It is rediscovering yourself again. And this is the story about how I found that joy again. It wasn't easy. I struggled a lot. And I mean a lot. But slowly but surely, I found myself. With every failure, I rose again and again and again. Oh my goodness. And again. And slowly started building back my confidence by consistent effort, small efforts. Sometimes I leaped, and every time I leaped, it didn't always end well, because they say build slowly for a reason, so that the version of you that you are now can catch up with the version of yourself that you're striving to become again, or to re-embody again. So as you dive into my art practice in this video, I encourage you to relax and just enjoy the art being created. Enjoy the magic of experiencing creation in the making, and just have fun with it, because at the root of everything is fun. And I realized over the last few years, as I painted these paintings, as I created them one after another, that I forgot the art of fun. I forgot what fun even meant. I had to think, I had to sit and think what fun was. But fun for me was sitting, it was painting, it was singing out loud as I painted to the song that I really liked, using that music to fuel me, to inspire me, to help me unlock something that needed to be unlocked. I hope you enjoy. So guys, to start off, I'm going to do what I do with every painting. I put on the Pueblo gum to block off any white areas that I want to keep white. And I do this because I can't go back later on and add white, or I find it very difficult to do that later on. So it's just easier to do it from now. And also later on, as I'm creating, I also like to experiment with the gum and see how blocking off colors earlier on will impact the painting later. To speed up the 100 Days of Flowers, and I really wanted to dive in more to the technique that I was actually working on, because as you can see from the previous paintings that I've created, I've kind of developed a style already from creating these paintings. So I thought, what would be the best way to study that style and explore it and expand it in different ways? So I decided the best way to do was create little mini flower swatches, which I would recommend for anybody to do for themselves. And I would slowly work on one painting or 4 to 5 paintings at the same time. That would make it so that I'm not so attached to one painting, that I'm able to be more flexible and flowing as I'm creating it, more experimentational, have more fun with the process, be like, oh, I wonder how this color will look, and not worried about ruining a whole piece of paper because I have 6 more swatches left. And I thought, you know what, this is the best way to do it. And honestly, it turned out really well as I was working on it. I was more excited as I was creating because I wasn't thinking, oh, this is taking forever. I was like, oh, wow, it's almost going to be finished. It's almost done, and I can explore more. So as you can see, I started off working with the first one, which is, I think this was a lily. I'm not too sure. I wanted to try lighter colors and explore how many layers I can add to them. And of course, with my trademark is the blue, so I'm always going to have to bring that into every little swatch from here on out that I continue to use. But definitely finding a way to explore more colors was the best way to do this. And as you might notice at the beginning of the video, I came into the studio with a key card. So that was when I started this swatch, originally I was in my old studio. So it took me a few days, or I'd say over a course of a few days in the studio, but a few weeks of time to actually work on finishing all these swatches. And I think it's a good thing that I did that. I think this is why this one's a little bit more special to me, because I left my old studio and I moved into the new one in the process of creating this artwork. And even moving into the new studio for me was also just like an experimentation. It was definitely sad to go from the old one just because it was more communal and I got to communicate and see more artists in the process of creating the artwork. But this one was more private, so I think I got to focus more on my artwork for sure. I got to dive in deeper to what I was creating. For the new works coming up, you'll see the level of details that pop up in the new pieces that I'm going to be posting soon. So I'm excited to show you guys that. Hopefully I'm going to be posting maybe 2 videos this weekend. So stay tuned for that. You guys will definitely love it. You might be asking yourself, why is there a rice cooker with wax in it? Well, I am a modern batik artist, and that is my primary form of art that I like to practice. It is basically taking wax and using it as a resistance on fabric to create the different intricate patterns. And that technique was the inspiration, I think, that informed a lot of the new works that I'm creating in the florals, because I took the inspiration of creating the outlines that I do in my batik work and I introduced those into the watercolors and the gouache paintings that you're seeing right now. And I think it's actually transformed it. I do feel like you have a lot more flexibility using the watercolors and the gouache, obviously, because as you're using wax to create artwork on a thin canvas paper, you don't really have any control because you're using wax and you're using dyes, and dyes run and wax spreads. So you have to be really conscious of how you are using your media and introducing it layer by layer by layer. I think that actually has helped me be a little bit more experimental in this process, because since you have to think so far ahead when you're creating modern batik art, I have to do something similar when I'm creating the watercolor paintings. But I also like that I can be a little bit freer and messier with the watercolors without worrying that I'm going to be ruining the whole piece of work. Versus the batik, if it's whatever mistake you have is the mistake you got. You can't get rid of it. It's locked in. It's yours. You got to claim it, own it, and figure out a way how to change it, transform it, make it into something more to your liking. So as you can see here, I'm now working on putting in more details on the second main panel, which is the one with the floral swirls, and I think that one was a good one. And then I hop on over to this flower. For this technique, I just kind of wanted to focus on going from a darker shade to a lighter shade when it comes to the flower, and also seeing how much patterns I can introduce into the background, how many colors I could introduce. And whenever I'm creating a piece, I really want to focus on the color, because for me, color is very important in any piece that I'm creating. I want to make sure that it feels harmonious, but also feels like it's standing out, it's attracting attention, it's going to stand out. I think my thing is always, if I saw this, would I stop and would I look at it? And if my decision is I wouldn't stop and I wouldn't look at it, then it's harder for me to paint it. I want my work to sing from the pages. I want it to be very eye-catching and colorful and vibrant. So that's a lot of the inspiration that goes into my color swatches and the choices. It's both the colors I have and the colors I want to explore and pop and shine and galore, all of that. This one is coming along really nicely. It was nice to continue to layer and layer and layer, and I was worried that I'd messed it up a little bit because I thought it was going to be a more vibrant red painting, but after introducing the outlines, the dark blue outlines, everything slowly started coming together, and I find that has been a trend with each piece. Whenever I introduce the blue outlines to the work, it just seems to come together seamlessly and just flows so well, and it brings so much movement into the work. And when the blue dries, you can see it right now, it's a very matte royal aquamarine blue, and it's so vibrant. I don't even think the video captures just how vibrant these colors are. I'll try to get better video quality over time, but it's a work in progress, so just bear with me right now. So for now, I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the rest of me creating some of these pieces. So I'm going to tune out for a bit, so enjoy.
I'm just good at caring too much. I'm just good at caring too much. Is it too much to ask that you be all mine? I never was good at sharing. I'm just good at caring too much.
So I'd basically finished all of the upper swatches, and now I was diligently working on finishing up the bottom ones. This one I wanted to be a little bit different. I wanted to incorporate a lot of oranges and reds. It was basically the bulbs of flowers that were still closed, and I thought I would just keep adding more blue to it like I did the other ones, just to outline it and make it pop out. I love the pattern that it created. It has a lot of texture, and I think it just pops. It's very different, and the end result came out better than I was expecting. My dream as an artist is to create work that really connects with people, that is vibrant, that is beautiful, that is bold. I love vibrant colors. I love vibrant hues. I like something that makes you stop when you walk by, no matter what it is. It could be a simple illustration or a nice, vibrant, big and bold painting of flowers. I feel for me, art is something that enables you to express your likes and your dislikes, but mostly it just allows you to turn off your brain for a little bit, for a few moments of time, just to connect with yourself, just to dive in. What I love doing in workshops I found recently is having people create the same image, but in their own way. because what people don't realize is the colors that they choose has purpose. Like, say sometimes you have the same painting, but someone chooses blue that day and versus someone choosing red. I've realized that there's a reason for that even they don't really realize. Sometimes it could just be like, I always choose red, or I always choose blue, and it's just a personal preference. But sometimes it's helping to connect them to something inside themselves that they haven't addressed yet, something inside themselves that is stored, that is just waiting to come out. And just by painting this painting, it's having a voice. That feeling inside of themselves is having a voice to speak, is having a voice to come out, so that they can put it on paper, so that they can look at it. And I think that's actually what is beautiful about art. It has so many multifaceted ways that it can be expressed. It can be you expressing your pain, you expressing your joy. It is just a beautiful form of creation. And if you think about it, we're all created to express ourselves in different ways. So art should be different. Art should be expressive. Everything about it should be unique to you. But I also think it's important to try new things, not only in your art practice, but in your daily life. Like experimenting with creation outside of the artist space is also important, because that renewed inspiration in your everyday life, you can bring that into the studio and you can try it out. For example, I was obsessed with cooking for a few weeks this time around, and I was obsessed with peanut butter specifically. I have no idea what got me to be obsessed with peanut butter, but I realized a lot of my creativity for a while was being channeled into the food that I was eating, and maybe it was because I couldn't go to the studio for a while, but it helped expand my mind a little bit into thinking of new ways to be creative and making sure that I go out and try new things. We also tried going out to events and seeing what Toronto had to offer. And here's a little snippet of what that looked like. It was very surprising. I think my sister remembered the name. I think she said it's tonight's conversation. So it should be a very enlightening discussion. Oh, there's a awesome. And I'll try to record whatever I can. Too bad. That's a lot of people. Oh my God. So some events that I was able to go to and explore were relationship ones, ironically. My sister wanted to go to an event, so we ended up going together. And those were some of the events that I saw during the exploration phase of this journey, and just trying new things and doing it differently. But seeing those shows and experimenting with the recipe was good for me. The recipe showed me that I could, explore new ways to express my creativity, but going to the show showed me that things are really changing. Like, voices are getting more powerful. Imagine combining all your fan base and creating a show where you just go city to city to discuss issues. You're not even singing, you're not performing, you are just talking about the things that matter to you, the things that are important to you, and that's how you're expressing your creativity, you're expressing your creative voice. And I thought even seeing that added more oomph, more inspiration, more drive to me creating, because I thought, wow, so many people are here wanting to just experience something different, something new, something more exciting, and that was valuable to me, just going there and seeing that and attending that.
We don't know what we want sometimes, but sometimes we will find the thing that we wanted, hidden deep
down. Sometimes we have to look within. Sometimes we have to go far, far within our souls. We can always find a way, a way, a way. Slow down, slow down. Trust that you will find the way, the way. Slow down. Wisdom inside. Slow down, slow down. You all have the wisdom, wisdom in your soul. So guys, we are nearing the last stretch of this flower swatch painting, and honestly, it's looking amazing. Oh my goodness, look at those vibrant hues, those vibrant colors. Right now, I'm adding some silver ink to the final painting just because I wanted to give it a little bit more dimension. And I'm taking off the sticky glue that we had put on at the beginning of the video, rubbing it right off, guys. I think sometimes I make the layers too thin and I have issues rubbing it off, and I'm like, am I taking off the painting or am I taking off the glue? So I'm trying right now to make sure I make it thicker so I don't actually have this problem. And honestly, the best part about finishing a painting is taking off the tape. I feel like taking off the tape is taking off the reveal. It's like everything that was hidden is now you're able to see it fully. It's like, oh, crisp, oh, clean, oh, beautiful. And you can't miss your close-ups. So here's some close-ups of me taking off the tape, guys. And I really enjoyed doing the swatches because it really took me out of my head and into the process again. And I like that I could do so many at one time, and when I wasn't inspired by one small piece, I just moved on to the next one, and I didn't feel guilty about it because since it was so small, I knew that I would come back to it, because who wants to leave one swatch unfinished when you have all the other ones finished? So you're going to come back. So this is definitely something that I would recommend for you guys to try, breaking everything down into small pieces and creating little small swatches that you can paint for yourself. And this honestly pushes you out of your comfort zone. It pushes you out of your head, and whenever you get stuck and you get in your head and you wonder, what should I do next? Just take 5 deep breaths. Trust me, this works all the time. 5 deep breaths, and then all the overthinking and the micromanaging that you were doing in your head just fades away, just like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the song that I shared with you today. I created it randomly as I was making this video, and I hope to incorporate more of these in the future. thank you guys for staying tuned, and if you did watch to the end and you saw the final results, I hope you guys like the final results. I'm really happy about it. More paintings to come, more art to share, more information about artists that I love, that I follow, and there's just so much more I want to show on this channel. So if you guys like what you see and you want to follow and join me on my journey of exploring more things, come along and welcome. Bye.